your girl JeanneB, and as you can see, we just arrived here in the Venice train station. So I know you're probably wondering, for those who've been watching the news, what it's like in Venice after the massive flooding that you guys have seen on pretty much CNN, ABC, BBC, everybody's reported it. Venice has been experiencing a lot of problems. So I'm sure you're wondering, in January 2020, what does it look like? Well, let's get after it. Hey guys, so right when you get out of the train station, within minutes you're going to be greeted right by the Santa Maria Church. Highly recommend that you guys take the time to go into it. It's a really beautiful chapel. Let's go check it out. While traveling here in Venice, as you can see, right when you get out of the train station and you take your first left, you will see the sign right before the Santa Maria Church that you can deposit your luggage here for only 6 to 8 euros. This allows you a great opportunity to be able to take the buses, the water taxis, and be able to travel throughout Venice without having to worry about dragging your suitcase up and down stairs. So if you're just here for a day trip, make sure you check out these guys, drop off your luggage, and enjoy everything that Venice has to offer. Okay, so tip number 2. Right after you arrive from the train station, as you can see, it's directly behind us. You will be greeted right across from the train station for a location that looks a lot like this. This is where you can go, and you'll see a sign over there that says ticket point. This is where you'll get your water taxi passes for the entire day. Yeah, I highly recommend that you get one for the entire day, which is about 25 to 30 euros for the entire day, allowing you to freely move around Venice instead of going to a stand like that says water taxi, which you're going to pay for each trip. From the train station to the Rialto area, it's about a 15-minute walk, or you can pay about 50 euros to get there for one way. I highly recommend either you walk and enjoy Venice, or to get one of your water taxis so that you can enjoy going to Murano, all the different islands here throughout Venice, and that you really have an opportunity to offer everything that Venice has. Tip number 3, ATMs. When you're down here in Venice, sometimes it can be really difficult to find ATMs. I highly recommend right when you get off the train station, take your left. You'll pass this first bridge, and you'll see the restaurant Roma. Right directly on the left-hand side, a little further down, you'll find an ATM that's very secure, and we've had absolutely no problems doing it. Additionally, if you're looking for somewhere to eat quickly right after you get off the train, I highly do recommend Restaurant Roma. They have pizza, pasta, seafood. It's a highly recommended restaurant. We've eaten there several times, and you get a beautiful view, and you get very well taken care of. So, tip number 4. As you can see, strollers really aren't appropriate when traveling through Venice. Bridges much like this are all over the city. So if you have a little one and you generally travel with a stroller, we recommend either using a harness or using a shoulder carrier. It's very difficult to travel through Venice using a stroller. So tip number 5. There's some really cool things that are often not publicized here in Venice. So another great tip is finding out where locals might go and what kind of places that you can go that aren't really heard of. So if you look directly behind me right there, the tall building with the green tower, actually underneath there is a really ancient tomb. It's pretty awesome. So if you were to walk directly out of the train station, make sure you look directly across from the train station and you'll see the building over there with the really tall dome green building. Underneath, if you go in there, not only is it a church, but there's also an ancient tomb. I highly recommend you check it out. So tip number 5 is learning the different places that aren't traditional tourist attractions and check them out. They're top-notch things here to see. So, tip number 6. When in Venice, check out the ice cream. So you have lots of different options for checking out either ice cream or gelato. Behind me, you'll see that we have the Magnum ice cream shop. It's a really cool experience. You get to pick your basic type of ice cream, and then you get to pick all your coverings. Do you want white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and then you can add extras such as nuts, sprinkles, and they have a great selfie station. It's a great way for you to experience building your own ice cream. However, my personal favorite is experiencing the local gelato. For about €1.50 to €2, you can experience some of the best gelato you'll ever have in your life. My personal favorite is the stracciatella, but make sure that you experience all of them. It's not uncommon for us to stop multiple times while we're here in Venice to experience all the great different types of gelato. Remember that if the gelato stands are highly full with ice cream, they're probably not the real deal. Look for someone that's well established and the lines are quite long. That's generally a good place. Later on, we'll show you a great place that I highly recommend for getting your gelato. Let's go in. You want to make an ice cream? So we're going to make an ice cream. So, yes. You want an ice cream. So let's do vanilla ice cream. Just one topping. White chocolate? And chocolate chip.
Which one?
Yeah.
This one?
Look at all these beautiful ice creams they made. There's the chip. So tip number 8 and tip number 9. So when nature calls. Make sure when you're in Venice that you understand that restrooms are very hard. There are some public restrooms, however, please note that they're not always the best cleanliness and you might not have toilet paper. So when you purchase something in a restaurant, you stop for a cup of coffee, make sure you use the restroom before you leave. If you do need to use the restroom and you haven't recently gone somewhere, I highly recommend you take that opportunity to go in, pay €1.50, get a cup of coffee, sit down for a moment, enjoy the restroom. You'll thank me later. That brings me to tip number 9. When traveling with children when you need to change their diapers. Note that I have been throughout Venice in many different locations. It's very rare that you ever find a diaper changing station. Make sure you have a diaper changing pad. You probably will end up changing your child on the floor. So having that diaper changing pad is going to be really essential. Tip number 10, purse shopping. Here in Venice, you see some of the most beautiful handbags that Venice has to offer. All of them are certified Italian leather goods. Now note that every few feet you will most likely find a leather Italian purse location. And most of them have the same design, same cuts, same colors. Make sure that you ask for a discount. Generally, you get the largest discounts if you pay in cash. Also know that the closer you are to major tourist attractions like the Rialto or right after the train station, your prices will probably be 20 to 30% higher. Make sure you shop around and notate where that purse shop is that you might want to like. And later we'll also show you some more tips about shopping here in Venice. But let's get an idea of what your traditional handbags might look like should you come to Venice. So let's go check out the purse store behind me. Okay, gondola rides. So note that there are 2 prices for gondola rides no matter where you are in the city. It's €80 for a daytime trip or €100 for a nighttime trip. Remember, that's the same price whether there's 2 of you or 4 of you traveling. So if you're traveling with a couple or you meet someone nice during lunch and you both happen to want to take a gondola ride, it might be great to go ahead and join forces and take the ride together. Remember that it doesn't matter. As long as the gondola is filled, you're going to pay the same price. So as you can see from the bridge behind me, the bridges are very congested. So if you see an opportunity for a shot, make sure your camera is prepared and you take it rapidly. Also, the further out that you get away from some of the tourist sites, you'll see just as many bridge opportunities, and generally those are for local personnel and you won't see very many people on them. So if you have the opportunity and you're really desiring some of those bridge shots, make sure that you go away from some of the high tourist sites, the Rialto Bridge, San Marco Square. Move away from those locations and you'll find some really beautiful shots with no one on. See, we're only one street out from the beaten path, and as you can see, this bridge is pretty much empty. And we're at Ponte Bembo, so that's B-E-M-B-O. This is a great opportunity for you to take any of your photos that you might want. A beautiful background, such as this beautiful church that's in the background. And not to mention, you get to see some great things that are off to the side. So I highly recommend you just take one street off the beaten path. And as you can see, no congestion to take your great family photos. And you might run into some four-legged local friends. So when traveling through Venice, it's always great to use your general Google Maps. However, because of some of the high coverings while you're walking through Venice, it's not uncommon for your Google Maps or other apps to go out. So make sure you're paying attention to signs like this up on the wall that tells you what direction general travel is to the Rialto Bridge or if you're to San Marco. When shopping for masks, it can be a lot like purses. You'll see so many different mask shops. Here in Venice, there are a couple different mask shops that are notoriously known. However, they generally recall some of the highest prices, so it wouldn't be uncommon for paying a couple €100 for masks. However, there are other traditional local vendors like the one behind me, where you can get a high quality certified Venice mask for roughly 50 to €100. And then of course you have your traditional street vendors, which you can score a nice costume mask for 5 to 10 euros. However, those are not certified, and often they are brought in from China or other vendors. They are not certified Venetian vendors. So let's go check out some of the local ones that are certified by the local council for Venice masks. Come on, Karen, stay with mommy. See? Look, that's Pinocchio. You got Pinocchio. While in Venice, you'll see lots of local artisans, both musicians and painters alike. As you can see, they're here to offer their great skills and to add to the great ambiance that Venice has to offer. Don't forget to take out a coin and thank them for the great job that they're doing to help make your experience in Venice magical.
Grazie. Bravo, grazie.
Our next tip is making sure that you understand what local holidays are coming up while you're visiting here in Venice. This is a perfect example. Tomorrow is January 6th, and on January 6th you can see it is the festival of Della Befana, which is the witch that comes and visits children. And so you should expect to see large festivals, large groups of personnel that are here. And so you might want to make reservations at different restaurants, or you might just want to make sure you look at what kind of festivals are going on. Most of these festivals are free and open to the public, and it's a great way for you to enjoy some of the great things that are going on in local Italian communities. While you're here, make sure you enjoy some of the local cuisine. Even vegetarians like us can enjoy some of the great things that there is here. As you can see, I got a really nice pizza. Make sure you chow down at one of the local restaurants. As you can see behind me is the Rialto Bridge. We actually came here on a day that's not so packed. On most days you'll see that this is a very congested side. My next tip is make sure that you start towards the edge of the bridge and work your way up. That's where you can get some of the best shots. And then make sure you're courteous. Once you get to the top of the stairs, take your photo, move along and let someone else take their picture so that they too can enjoy the beautiful sights. Come with me. So as you can see, we have a quick open spot. Make sure you pay attention to when spots open. Go ahead and snap your shot and then move along so the next person can enjoy the beautiful sight. Say cheese! Okay, so we're at the Rialto Bridge, as you can see. If you're really to look for one of the most well-known mask makers in Venice, I want you to check out this person. Come on over. So as you can see, this person is pretty well known. It's from the movie Eyes Wide Shut. He's done all the masks. And as you can see, there's a lot of famous personnel that he has seen and has come here over the years to get some of his masks. And this is just a couple of pictures, people like Keanu Reeves and stuff who have visited to get their mask here. And as you can see, these masks have a total different feel than a lot of the other ones that you will see. So make sure you take a chance and just stop in and look at him. He's a really nice guy. We can't videotape inside, but I want you to experience kind of the original Venetian mask maker and some of the most famous. And you can see right there, there's the film roll from Eyes Wide Shut. This is really what put him on the map right here. And you can see people like Pamela Anderson that he's seen over the years, and see some of his other stars that he's seen. Here's Sandra Bullock over here with him. So if you're in a rush to eat while you're in Venice because you have a lot to do, one of your choices that you might want to do is one of these fast food pasta places. The great thing is this pasta is handmade and you get to pick any type of pasta sauce that you want. So why don't you come in while I grab Okay, so let's try it out. This is bigoli, which means the big noodle. Really good. Check out the bigoli. Murano glass. You'll see these little trinkets all over Venice. You can go to the island of Murano by one of the water taxis, but it's not needed to get it. There are a lot of vendors here that will do blowing glass demonstrations where you can also pick up little trinkets like this to take back as a souvenir. As you can see, these little necklaces like that comes in a wide range of prices, anywhere from €2 to €35. So make sure you check out and take a little memento back home with you to remember your great day here. When you're here in Venice, don't be afraid to get lost. Remember, this is an island. You really can't get lost. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.